Today I will discuss about the study on time.com Berhad between performance ROA in telecommunication industry in Malaysia. So first of all, my name is Muhammad Shawan Praklan and my matrix number is 271121. So time.com Berhad is a company for investment. Time provide management, marketing, promotional service and sales telecommunication product. So Time is the Malaysian fixed line telecommunication network and solution provider. So we continue for the issue and problem in time.com. So many economic sector were slow owing to lockdown during the COVID-19 outbreak, and many individuals lost their employment. However, there are always possibility even when the hazard presents. So for the quarters end March 31, 2020, time.com Berhad report a consolidated group revenue for RM 293.9 million, and that's the higher overall sales growth across all main product and client segment, dropped the 20% rise over the same time in 2019. So now we will discuss about the objective of this research. They have three. First is the as certain the internal or firm specific factor that could have influence on time.com Berhad performance. Second is to identify the external and microeconomic factor that could have influence on time.com Berhad performance. Third is to investigate the internal and external factor that could have influence on time.com Berhad performance. Okay, for the research question, they have three. First is there any relationship between the internal factor with time.com performance? Second is there any relationship between the external factor with time.com Berhad performance? And lastly is there any relationship between external factor with time.com Berhad performance? So for the methodology, we can see internal factor, external factor, and both internal and external factor as independent variable, while the firm performance for time.com Berhad ROA as the dependent variable. Okay, for the literature review, we will have four components, which is first, corporate governance, external factor, internal factor, and the dependent variable, the ROA of time.com Berhad. So now we go to the descriptive statistic for this assignment. According to the statistic, this company average return on equity is 0.1120. So the suggestion level of financial performance of around 11%, and the standard deviation of its 5-year profit is 0.0192. The average of ROA for the firm is 0.88, implying an annual profit of almost 88%, while the standard deviation is 0.0164, implying just a minor degree of profit variation over the next 5 days. So for the correlation, according to this finding, time.com Berhad return on equity or financial performance has statistically significant negative link with the operation ratio. This association has p-value of 0.00. A negative relationship suggests that as the independent variable rise, there is a tendency for the dependent variable to fall and vice versa. The p-value is greater than 0.1, indicating that the current ratio, SCP, inflation, interest rate, unemployment, and debt to income, and inflation exchange and the CG index has no effect on the ROA. For the model summary, we will see three types. First is the internal. Only 3 of the 7-factor investigate had the influence on Berhad return on equity. According to the finding, the CG index, the operation margin, and the current ratio. However, the remaining criteria are unimportant to our inquiry. So for the external, according to the finding of the study of out of 4 variables, only 3 contribute to the Berhad financial performance. Yield R square of 0.976, which is equivalent to 97%. On other hand, the remaining variables do not have any bearing on this study at all. Okay, now we go to the coefficient. According to the finding of for this study, for the internal factor, current ratio, ROE, and debt to income all show the positive and negative significant association with ROA, with the p-value of 0.356, 0.001, and negative 0.009 respectively. And these ratios also show that operating margin has a substantial positive correlation with ROA with the p-value of 0.01. For the external, the p-value in inflation rate, interest rate, and the action rate are not greater than 0.15 in this study, with p-value of 0.01, 0.015, and negative 0.100 respectively. And when the independent variables are examined individually, the result demonstrates that none of them are significant to the dependent variable or ROA. So for the conclusion, the previous explanation lead to the conclusion that the operational risk that Berhad face has the largest influence on the company yearly earning and financial performance. As a result, if you want to increase the firm performance, you need successfully manage the operating risk that organized confront. If a business operational expenditure such as service maintenance rise, it will have a negative influence on its performance, since the company will have a spend of more money it earn. Managing a company operating expenditure can be performed through a variety of way and tactics. That's all. Thank you.